I summoned her.
Come sit up there or stay?
Yeah, we're just a little time, but yeah, sure.
Okay.
How you guys doing?
Good, how are you doing?
Good.
I don't. Stuff I need or not? I've seen it already.
Here, I'll do this.
Oh, that's the email I saw. Then no, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Justin, how much? Yeah, I'll do this.
Brandon? So, is everybody ready to go? Okay. Brandon, the 30 seconds. Yeah, it was a little quicker. Just let us know when you're, when we're, are we up?
Hey, send me the link. I gotta post it.
Okay, so we're on. So I hope people can see us at home. And so this is just so to level set for everybody. I just have a few comments and then we'll open it up to the discussion. So welcome to the workshop portion of the meeting. This is the Cornerstone workshop. I just want to take a minute to lay out kind of how we're going to proceed tonight. The subject of the workshop is, as people probably know, is the application for site plan approval and special use permit by Cornerstone. Last time we did one of these, I covered, and also Jody covered, the procedural history. In the interest of time, I'm not going to go through that again. The workshop tonight will consist of a discussion session between the planning board, its consultants, and Cornerstone's representatives and consultants. A lot of work has been done since the last time we met to refine the applicant's submission, collect the information that the board and its consultants, have asked for, and information that we need, obviously, to make an ultimate decision on the application. And the principal focus tonight will be on identifying and resolving any open issues, and also raising any questions that the board or its consultants or the applicant may have. This is not, just as a reminder, it's not a public hearing. I'm going to get to more on that in a minute. The workshop is going to proceed from now until about 6:50, and we'll take a break at 6:50, and then our regular meeting will start at 7. If you're watching or attending and you're interested in Cornerstone, I should point out Cornerstone will be also the first item on the regular agenda. We will consider, at that time, a procedural resolution drafted by our consultants, the purpose of which is to circulate the application materials to other interested agencies, and to schedule, we hope, the resumption of the public hearing. The hearing has technically remained open since we last had a hearing in April 2022. And I just point that out to everyone in that we will accept written comments from the public even before we have this next hearing session, because the hearing is open. And the public obviously will have an opportunity to speak when we schedule the public hearing, and we will do that, as I said, during the regular session. If you're following at home, if you're in the room, we have maps on the easel and on the table. And if you're following at home, the application materials, plans, and supporting documents are or should be on the town website in the planning board section. Look for the planning board, you go on the planning board section of the website, then you look for the planning board agendas tab. We've had a few technical issues. There are a couple of documents apparently that are too large to post, but most of them are there, and if you have any problems with any of that, speak to Arlene or email Arlene about that. I just wanted to point out in attendance, in addition to your board, we have Liz Axelson, who's our planning consultant, who we may hear from, and Shane Egan, who's our attorney, and Jeff Newman is our zoning administrator up here with us. And after we finish with Cornerstone on the regular agenda, we'll move to the rest of the items. And yes, we do have some other items on the agenda. So thank you for your attention. Does anybody on the board or anybody else have anything up here, have any questions or comments on anything? Okay. So, Jody, did you want to kick us off with maybe some comments? And I don't know if you want to introduce your team again. You've done it before, maybe just the people in the front, maybe, or okay.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Jody Cross from Zarden and Steinmetz, Warren Clancy, also counsel for Cornerstone. We have our representative from Cornerstone behind us and our representative from Rubella to the next side. I think you covered a lot of what I was going to say. We were last here in July. At that point, we had a deep discussion, and since then, we have had a site visit with the board. We made a substantial submission in September to address the comments from your consultants. A big part of that was I'm sorry?
Can I just stop you? Brandon, are we picking this up on the mic?
Yeah,
Is it coming through?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Jody, go ahead.
Hold on, I'm just trying not to get attacked by it. I think it should be fine. If he was getting me, I shouldn't have moved it anyway. I'm sure. Can I put it down? Is that going to affect anything? Is that okay?
Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay. That way the consultants can be heard as well. So one of the biggest submissions was updating the EAF report and the response to comments. We foiled the EMS providers to get some data from over the years. We updated our plans to address certain comments. We did a supplemental submission a few weeks ago just to provide one last FOIL document we received from the state police, and also we provided our owner authorizations and resolutions of owners authorizing signing. We've received the November 17th comment letter. Seems a substantial number of our technical issues were addressed. There are still some outstanding. A lot of those, I think, are issues that we just require some changes to our plans. We do have two issues we did want to raise initially because we had some questions. And I don't know if you want us to go first, or if you want to ask your questions first.
What, why don't you, if you have issues, you can raise them. And did you want to go through just anything that's been revised on the plan at all, or like the screening and the?
Screening is one of the issues.
Oh, okay.
That we wanted to
All right, so you might as well start.
The other issue is there was in 1990 a subdivision that was granted on the vacant parcel. It's a 2-lot subdivision for 2 homes. One of the comments in the consultant's letter is that prior to any approval being granted, that subdivision should either be exercised or abandoned. So in the first instance, I've spoken with counsel for ownership. They are fine with abandoning the subdivision. However, we would just simply ask that be a condition of approval. We don't want to go ahead and abandon that prior to any decision from this board. Obviously, if in the event that it's not approved, we want to preserve all our rights. We did reach out though and look into what that takes to abandon a subdivision. It's a pretty simple, straightforward ministerial process that takes maybe a week, dealing with the assessor and the county. So it's not something that would be a huge undertaking. We just obviously would want to move to first be conditioned. So the other issue that we had some questions and wanted to open our discussion with is the landscaping. There were some recommendations in the comment memo about increasing the plantings, what was it, north of property line?
At the north property line.
At the north property line, west of
The Mohawk,
the
Niagara.
the
Okay.
Mohawk property. So I think one of the things that you can't see when you look at this piece of paper is the existing screening that's already there and trees that already exist in the areas where we did not propose. in fact, and I'll let Kyle explain a little better, but it turns out that if you were to add the screening that was requested, you would have to take down a substantial amount of trees. So that didn't seem to make sense to us. So what we did is we have some aerials. We also have some photos that we took of the property, so you can see those, the trees. So I just want to kick it over to Kyle, if that's okay, just to explain what we've proposed and what was requested and why what was requested may actually be an issue.
The only other thing I'd like to point out is that at the north property line, if we were to